continuing to make SCVs because he is supply blocked. This is a continual theme here coming from our Terran player. He really should work on that a little bit more. Day 9 says you beat up on yourself every single time you stop making workers as Terran or Protoss. We see the Zerg swinging up here to check for an expansion, and they don't see one. A good checking time for our Zerg player, because Terran might want to secure an expansion soon. Yes, he does. He's throwing down a command center here. These Thors, Marines, Marauders are going to come up here and run into Banelings. These Banelings will be able to clean this up really easily if the Thors are not up front, and looks like Terran is not actually controlling this. He's going to let the Marines and Marauders go up front, and these Banelings are going to do a ton of damage, killing off half of the Marine Marauder ball here. Baneling's speed is also done, but if he gets these on creep, it'll just be terrifying. We see here the big pack of Mutas here. There are 12 Mutalisks coming up through the back. They're going to be greeted by one missile turret, but this one missile turret is not going to be able to take down that many units by itself. Terran knows about this attack because of his supply depot. This is a good placement because Nidus Worms and other things can come up here. Protoss players might even put Warp Prism here and do continual DT harass. Not actually going in for the harass. He really could have done some damage there if he went in earlier. Zerg is just continuing to macro. He's getting his 4th base. He might think about getting his 5th and just have an overwhelming force against the Terran player. We're gonna take a look at the food differential. Oh, not that wide actually. Terran is actually a little bit ahead, but we'll see Zerg swinging far ahead very soon with his 4th base up and running soon. He's starting to get more units. He's starting to empower units instead of drones. If you take a look at the units tab, it's 61 drones to 54 SCVs. And Terran's 3rd base is finally coming up. No major confrontations though. Both players a little bit timid to move out. The Baneling placement, it could be a little bit more spread out and force Terran to use more scans on Banelings. It's just like the same idea as Dark Templar. Forcing him to use scan. The Mutalist is coming in here for the harass. He could do a magic box. Another 2 Thors here, so that should be able to force the Mutalist back. I see the Mutalist backing up. Terran is starting to build up a really massive army of Thors, Marines, and Marauders. We've actually seen Pain User do this before, using the Thors to tank the damage from the Banelings, and the Marines and Marauders don't even have to kite, they just kind of sit there and do all the damage. We see the bunkers have been salvaged, and this army is going to move out to the center. Zerg does not actually have spotting in the center anymore. Actually, no, he sees it. He's got this Overlord here. The Mutalisks are going to fly in and get completely decimated. All the Thors just firing off one volley, and everything is dead. We're going to see a major confrontation here. Zerg's still on just Banelings, Roaches, and Zerglings against this big ball. If he can get in the right angle with the Banelings, this will be able to do a lot of damage. All the Marines and Marauders have been taken out by the Banelings, but the Thors are still standing strong. See if they can take out all of these Roaches. The Roaches are just pouring in. We just see 22 Roaches left on the field, and the production here is 15 Roaches. Terran just got cleaned up here, and he's not going to be able to replenish as quickly as the Zerg. As we look at the production tab, we're going to see these barracks just churning out Marines, and the factory's churning out Thors now. But Zerg is just replenishing with a ton of Roaches. He might actually be able to come up here and clean up this planetary fortress. He didn't actually set the rally point on this planetary fortress, so we have some idle SCVs. Another command center and 2 more barracks being thrown down to increase production here. Both players actually macroing quite well. This planetary fortress, if it gets a repair on it, will not be able to get taken down by Zerg. Zerg is now at 2-1 on the upgrades. I'm going to see this planetary fortress is actually going to go down despite the repair with the SCVs. But Planetary Fortress did rack up quite a few kills there. I didn't get a chance to see exactly how many. But Terran is going to have to re-expand to this location. while Zerg happily makes 20 more roaches to keep barreling down the front. Zerg might actually want to do some teching in the meantime, maybe get some Broodlords or go for Ultralisks. He's actually going to take his 5th base now. He's actually even in a good position to take the center gold and just become an overwhelming force here. Terran is not actually getting any infantry upgrades, but he is getting those mech upgrades. He's getting 2-2 for his Thors. Going to be quite dangerous to deal with as this game goes on if he's able to get the 3-3 up. We see the Terran vehicle plating also coming up. And this expansion is actually going to go up to the gold position. If he's able to get siege tanks up here, it'll be quite difficult to break. But it seems like he's just going for a bunch of Thors here. Maybe trying to go for another big push to break the Zerg players back. But Zerg is macroing up just the largest army here. And the food differential is now way far in favor of the Zerg player with 184 food and the Terran player at a measly 122. He is going to go ahead and get this planetary fortress, and we'll see if Terran resiliency is going to be able to hand him the game. He's going to throw down all of these mules, and we're going to see his income just skyrocket here. We see 2,800 minerals per minute or whatever for the Terran player because of these mules, skyrocketing up to even 4,000 minerals despite Zerg having so many bases here. Terran now actually has a little bit of map control and is going to go ahead and take this 4th base here again, but Zerg is moving out for an attack. We're going to look at production and see Terran getting his command center, more Thors, but this huge Baneling Roach army can easily take out the Terran army that's on the field right now. And this might actually end the game here. Zerg is still at 2-2, not really getting any more upgrades. Gonna run up into this choke here. Terran is forced to engage at this planetary fortress. The Baneling's doing a ton of damage, focusing down that planetary fortress. And as CV's repairing each other, the Thors all getting wiped out. More Thors coming out here, but it's not going to be enough to hold off the Zerg army here. Let's see Ultralisks actually coming out for Disciple here. Disciple is going to mop up this army here, and Terran's going to have to GG soon. He's unable to keep up with the production of the Zerg, and Zerg does have 2 bases over him. GG calls Thaddeus, and it is now 1-1. In this battle. We're going to go into Game 3 very soon. Game 3 is actually a 2 versus 2 game. This is how the Collegiate Star League runs. It's not all 1v1, so we'll see you back for Game 3.